wreaking havoc. Please go through the main ones. You must know all that. Right? Alright, so today we are starting with ciliated protozoans under kingdom Protista. So, as the name suggests, amoeboid protozoans were moving with the help of pseudopodia. Their cell structure was not definite, they were amoeba-like, ever-changing. And then flagellated protozoans, which have flagella for their movement, cell structure definite, almost constant in shape. And now comes ciliated protozoans. Yes? Any question? Okay. So, ciliated protozoans are mobile, free living, mostly free living. So, they are not going to cause you trouble because they mind their own business, and aquatic organisms. Why aquatic? How did I know? Because they have this cilia to move, and anything which is moving on terrestrial environment doesn't require cilia. Cilia flagella will work in the aquatic environments only. So these are free living aquatic organisms. Mode of nutrition heterotrophic, and particularly holozoic. Mode of nutrition holozoic. So they are going to bring the food closer and then engulf it. Somehow bring it inside the cell where they will do its digestion. How do they move? The body is covered in multiple cilia, not one or two, thousands of cilia. We will see in a moment. If they are heterotrophic, there is no point in discussing the photosynthetic pigments. They will not have it. Now, example, very common example, the one favorite, my favorite was paramecium because it exactly looks like a slipper. And nowadays we are getting square toed slippers, but in previous days, whatever the shape of a standard slipper was, paramecium looks exactly like that. And I like it very much. Why do I like this very much? Because this was the first thing that I had ever observed under a microscope. So, just like Leeuwenhoek, perhaps I was also very lucky because that day we were doing this experiment that take a drop of pond water or dirty water and then observe under the microscope. And while others were struggling with all the debris and the soil particles, I saw something moving beautifully, and that was kind of very exciting point in my life. It happened in class 11, but I still remember that, and I've handled much better microscopes after that. And that changed everything. I liked that moment, and so I like this one. So, how does paramecium look like? Roughly slipper like in structure. If it is eukaryotic, it has got to have nucleus. The body is covered in numerous cilia, which will all show coordinated beating. If they are beating this way and that way, they cannot achieve any purpose. They show coordinated beating in a particular direction as per the requirement of the cell. So suppose its body is covered in all the cilia and it is heterotrophic, but it is not going to form pseudopodia. So from where the food is going to come inside the cell, it has got a vestibulum. Vestibulum is slight depression like structure, which is followed by the mouth. So what happens, children? This is the vestibulum area. The cilia are beating together and they create such a current that a lot of water is forced in this direction, so that whatever particles are present in that water, they will also come closer to the vestibule. And once this enters this portion, this is the mouth. Why do we call it mouth? Because after crossing this plasma membrane, now the food particle gets covered in a food vacuole. As soon as any external particle enters the body of amoeba or any unicellular organism, it has to be covered in its own membrane, and now that small vesicle will be known as food vacuole. So once the food has come here, crossed the vestibule and entered the cell now, it has to be covered in a vesicle. Now this vesicle containing the food will be known as food vacuole. Some more features are present. A very characteristic feature of many protozoans is contractile vacuole. Now, what is contractile vacuole? आप सबने ये चार्ट में बनाई होंगी कभी 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 ना कभी पैरामीशियम में. Now, what is the purpose of contractile vacuole? Osmoregulation. Can anybody tell me what is osmoregulation? Please tell me.
Maintain the concentration of water.
Contractile vacuum or osmoregulation. Karthik, what is osmoregulation? Any idea?
Maintaining the water concentration in the body.
Oh, so sorry. Somehow this got muted. I'm so sorry if anybody tried to answer in between. Yes, please repeat. I have unmuted my speaker now. Hmm.
I'm maintaining the water concentration in the body.
Maintaining the water concentration, yeah, it is indirect way of saying that. Basically osmotic concentration in the body, and osmotic concentration requires certain solutes. So when I say that I am trying to maintain my osmotic balance, then I am trying to say that whatever solutes are present, I am trying to control their amount. So of course it is contrary to each other. More solute, less water, more water, less solute.
Ma'am, you're not audible.
It's my internet connection coming and going. I'll repeat once more. So osmoregulation has got something to do with regulating the amount of solutes. Whatever is dissolved in the system of a living body or cell, you are maintaining the amount of solutes. And of course solutes will not exist alone. In a solution, if there is solute, there has got to be solvent. So if solute is more, then the concentration is high. If the solute is less, then the concentration is low. So osmoregulation is regulation, that part is correct, but it is the regulation of dissolved solutes in a system, in a living system. So मैंने कहा कि contractile vacuoles are essential for osmoregulation, by which I mean that they will decide how much should be the concentration of cytoplasm of paramecium. How much and how can we ensure that? In case a lot of water is entering inside the body of paramecium through endosmosis, then that excess water also needs to be removed through contractile vacuoles. Otherwise, the total concentration of dissolved solutes in the cytoplasm will change. And cytoplasm is the place where all the living reactions take place. For example, all the nutrients, enzymes for metabolic reactions, everything is present over here. So it has got to have a certain pH. It has got to have a definite concentration of each and every solute. So if there is more water, everything is going to be diluted and I cannot afford that. So the cell maintains a particular concentration of solutes through osmoregulation. Even our body does that with the help of kidneys, because my blood has got to have a certain amount of glucose, nutrients, hormones, and if there are more amounts of nitrogenous waste product in my body, then the kidneys will try to remove it as fast as they can, because the body should maintain homeostasis or a particular level of inner environment. So Ayush, your answer is correct, but you are giving me indirect answer. Osmoregulation has got to do with the solute concentration, and of course the water concentration depends on solute concentration. So your answer is technically correct. All right. So these are general structures of paramecium. Now, can anybody tell me, is this kind of representation of a diagram all right, or something is missing in this diagram? Please try.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
something is
other
missing. Ma'am, name of the organism.
That's right. Anyone else? Because Sonali तो हमसे क्लास 10th में पढ़ चुकी है. Anyone else?
ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes, please go ahead.
मैम ये जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टेबल वैक्यूल है ये अमीबा में भी होता है?
हाँ जी, अमीबा में भी होता है.
ओके मैम.
And these vacuoles, whether it is food vacuole or contractile vacuole, these vacuoles will be formed as per the need. So they are not as permanent structures as the plant vacuole. Plant cell has got to have a vacuole all the time, and that vacuole is pretty large also because it maintains the structure of the cell as well. It provides certain turgidity to the cell. So plant vacuole has various other kind of functions. So it is a permanent kind of structure. While the animal cell will have these structures temporarily according to the need. अभी यहाँ पे food enter कर रहा है, then it will be covered in a vesicle. इसका जब digestion हो जाएगा और egestion हो जाएगा, then that vacuole will disappear once again. So, as per the need, these vacuoles will be formed. Okay, so I asked all of you that what is missing in this diagram, and I will complete
Mom,
it
you're not audible.
Yes,
once
ma'am.
again. Okay, I'll repeat. What is missing in this diagram is the name of
Mom,
the diagram, right? Am I audible, Shrestha?
yes, mom, right now you're audible.
So, whenever you are making a diagram in biology or in general in science also, make your diagram, and if the labelings are less in number, make them all in one direction. Keep all your arrows straight as much as possible. अगर बहुत ज़्यादा लेबलिंग करनी होगी, then of course even I will do like this. But draw all the labels in one direction as much as possible. Keep your arrows straight as much as possible, and never leave your diagram orphan. Always tell the viewer what is this. So this is nothing but paramecium. And remember, children, if you have done everything but you forgot this, then full marks can never be granted. Never. And not just from my hands, you will never get full marks. So please, these are the initial classes where you must learn the basics. And as far as your exams are concerned, by that time, this should become your habit. Whenever you are drawing a diagram, just if there is a scarcity of time, please label the most important structures. For example, if I was talking about ciliated protozoans, then I will make sure that I have drawn cilia and I have discussed at least its function. There are many other structures present in paramecium cell, but my focus would be cilia, vestibule, mouth, and contractile vacuole minimum. So, give proper labels in a proper manner. And why am I emphasizing on this? Because this has got to
Your voice
be
is not
like
clear.
this. Sorry, Rituraj? Yes?
Ma'am, you aren't audible.
How
Yes,
many
ma'am.
times am I losing my connection today and it's just the morning? All right. So, कहाँ से audible नहीं थे? Hello, hello. अभी क्या status है? अभी सुनाई दे रहा है?
Yes, mom.
ओके, तो आप ये ध्यान रखें, डायग्राम बनाने का ये तरीका आपके थ्योरी में और प्रैक्टिकल में दोनों में फॉलो होना चाहिए. द डायग्राम शुड हैव लेबल्स ऑन वन साइड, नॉट इन अ हैphazard way, and it must always contain the name of the diagram, without which my signature is never going to be on your practical file or any other work, and it will also get result in less marks if you do not follow this. So please don't make this mistake. I have warned you enough. So let us try to revise this and move on to sporozoan protozoans. Right. Ciliated protozoans are characterized by They are mobile and free living state. And how are they mobile? They contain thousands of cilia through by which their body is covered, and these cilia show unified
मैम
movements. Yes, so Sajida?
मैम आपकी वॉइस ब्रेक हो रही है.
Okay. All right. So if I actually close my class, then something will be interrupted. Otherwise, I will try to exit and come back. But let us see. Let us see if it gets better in 2 3 seconds. Okay. If my board is visible, children, please go through everything that is written over there and ask me through chat box if you have any doubts. I will also write this, what I'm trying to tell you. Yes. See my message and then do the needful, please. This is a serious issue. Let me take your attendance also.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah, Supriya, please.
Ma'am, what does this mobile means here?
मोबाइल होना मतलब द एबिलिटी टू मूव. Certain organisms are sedentary. Sedentary means static at one place. Sedentary animals do not move much. So sedentary is one kind of lifestyle, and being mobile is other kind of lifestyle. So based on this you can say that these green plants are sedentary. Do they move? Have you seen them moving?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. So those organisms which can move are known to be mobile or motile. Even motile is another terminology for movement. It is showing motility, means it is able to move or it is moving. And mobile also indicates the same thing. Okay, somebody is asking something. Contractile vacuole. All right. So contractile vacuoles are present in certain cells to maintain a particular balance between a total amount of solutes and the water present inside the cell. Now these will be observed in animal cells only, which live in a changing environment. What do I mean by that? By this I mean that our cells, the cells of our body, have a certain definite environment. They are present in the blood plasma and the constitution of plasma remains same. So my cells do not require any contractile vacuole. But think about paramecium or amoeba-like organisms. They are present in pond water, they are present in rivers. So the atmosphere in such environments is constantly changing, and animal cells are prone to endo osmosis also. अगर बाहर का concentration water का ज़्यादा है, then water will start entering their cells. Then they have to expel that excess amount of water. अब वाटर अंदर आ गया है ऑस्मोसिस के थ्रू, बट उनको अपने सेल का इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट कांस्टेंट रखना है. सो उन्हें कुछ तो ऐसा करना पड़ेगा सो दैट दे कैन रिमूव दैट एक्सेस वाटर, एंड contractile vacuoles will function in expelling the extra amounts of water from the cell. So ultimately, how any vacuole gets rid of anything, it will move and fuse with the outer plasma membrane and ejaculate everything that is present inside that vacuole, which the cell does not require. So that is how the contractile vacuoles ensure osmoregulation or maintenance of a particular level of solute in the cytoplasm. Clear हुआ आदित्य? या मेरी वॉइस फिर से
Yes, ma'am.
डिसकंटिन्यू हुई थी? ऑल राइट. And I remember I have shared the PDF of these chapters, right?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
प्लीज उसे देखते रहा करिए. All right, so your attendance is done now, and let us see if I can move on to sporozoans.
मैम
Yes.
मैम अगर गलती से पैरामीशियम हमारी बॉडी में चला जाए तो वो कौन सी डिजीज कर सकता है?
गलती से अगर पैरामीशियम चला जाए, then all the species of paramecium are not going to cause you any disease, because the moment they reach stomach, our HCl will take care of it. But if it is a parasitic species, then they might be having certain provisions, certain adaptations in them, so that they can stay for longer durations in your body. But pathogenic species of paramecia are not known. At least I cannot recall any which is pathogenic. So if you have accidentally engulfed such organisms, they will be digested with the action of HCl immediately.
Okay, ma'am.
या सो डोंट वरी. बट इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि अब आप घर का साफ पानी छोड़कर पॉन्ड वाटर पीना शुरू कर दें. ऐसे
ओके
तो
मैम.
ऐसा मत करना.
Ma'am, paramecium lives in fresh water or marine water.
फ्रेश वाटर, एब्सोल्युटली फ्रेश वाटर. क्या कार्तिक का क्वेश्चन है, प्लाज्मोडियम लिवर में क्यों एंटर करते हैं, व्हाई नॉट इन ब्लड एंड डायरेक्टली अफेक्ट्स द बॉडी. ऑलराइट, सो इट हैज गॉट समथिंग टू डू विद द specificity, and in the life cycle of plasmodium we will see, which is in class 12, but I'll give you some hint about it, that sporozoan protozoans, which are mostly parasitic, they target various tissue in the cell as per their life cycle. So they do not appear the same throughout their life cycle. In some stages they are like this. In some stages they appear ring-like, and so on. In some stages they might also appear amoeboid. So depending upon the a particular stage, they need a particular cell type or tissue type, and this is very peculiar for any pathogen. The pathogen is not going to take anything else because of evolution. If they have evolved in response to establishing themselves in my liver cells, then they will not like any other cell or any other animal also. They are hooked to Homo sapiens, and particularly out of all these cells, liver cells. So this is about post specificity, and how. What is the molecular basis of these things? So out of so many life stages, that first stage which enters the liver cells, that stage requires certain molecular interaction with the cell surface of liver cell and that pathogen. So if that pathogen has compatible surface interacting molecules, then it is not going to attack any other cell and just find its entry over there. So before they reach my RBC, they go to liver cells, establish themselves, multiply themselves, and then they change into a very different stage which now affects the RBC. And it has multiple layers of interactions, but first layer of interaction has got to do with the surface interaction, that what kind of molecules that particular stage has that can gain its entry. So suppose you want to go into a particular club or any particular area of a market, and you require certain pass. Unless you do not have that pass, आप उस एरिया में एंटर ही नहीं करेंगे जबकि आपको उस एरिया के थर्ड ब्लॉक में काम है. तो थर्ड ब्लॉक तो छोड़ दीजिए, आपने उस एरिया में एंट्री ही नहीं की बिकॉज आपके पास वो पास नहीं था. सो ये आपकी सरफेस केमिस्ट्री एंड मॉलिक्यूलर इंटरेक्शन ऑफ सरफेस केमिस्ट्री पर बहुत ज्यादा डिपेंडेंट है. अंडरस्टूड कार्तिक?
No, ma'am.
All right. Yeah, sorry Karthik, I didn't get you. All right. Any more doubts, children? Because now I'm running out of time, so I think हमारे protozoans, sporozoans are going to be finished in the last lecture. So please come back prepared, and you can leave now. And regarding English class, children, whatever there is, it will be sorted out today. I have conveyed the message to ma'am. She will talk to substitution committee that why this clashing of timing is taking place. All right.
Mom, doubt.
If you have doubts, I will take it in the last period. You send the message to me because I have